So when does this show actually air? My DVR had Rebels airing at 12 a.m. and 1 a.m. early Monday, then 6 p.m. the next day. But I only saw episode 3. Let's get past the part that YouTube TV decided to record 2 different shows that weren't episodes 3 and 4, and that the broadcast of these episodes was terribly communicated. But apparently this 2-parter wasn't to be aired until today, so part 2 hadn't even been released. Their on-demand for part 2 was an entirely different show. It was Phineas and Ferb, so things were just all out of whack. Anyways, we're back, and we're watching Star Wars Rebels episodes 3 and 4 in the name of the rebellion. So right out of the gate, we're taken to a magical and wonderful place that holds sacred to a lot of our hearts. Yavin 4, bringing this universe closer and closer together. Not only that, but Hera and the Phoenix Squadron are coming in hot after a seemingly dangerous mission. Wedge makes a return appearance and is looking more and more like his film counterpart. We also see Mon Mothma and Senator Organa make a return appearance. Let's just get this out of the way. We are going to be seeing a lot more of folks we know from Episode 4, New Hope, and of course, folks we know from Rogue One, which makes this season so hype right now. They reference Saw Gerrera's ragtag group of rebels and question the methods by which he obtains intel. And I have to give the showrunners credit right now. The meeting that took place had all kinds of A New Hope atmos. It was goosebump-inducing. Ezra gets upset that they aren't focusing on Lothal and asks the time-old question, if not now, when? I can tell you this much, kid, never, if the original trilogy is any indicator. But nonetheless, Mon Mothma goes on to show Ezra a map of all the worlds that are suffering at the hands of the Empire, and the image is quite literally self-explanatory. Ezra, much to my surprise, understands and goes to sulk facing another direction other than Mon Mothma's. Kanan tries to talk Ezra off a cliff, and it seems Ezra is edging closer and closer to a gray area that we've explored time and time again with this kid. Dark side, Grey Jedi. Saw infiltrates the base via projection and proceeds into a heated debate with Mon Mothma about best practices and methods when dealing with the Empire. While Saw has a few good points, Mon Mothma makes a good effort to point out that he kills civilians and lowers himself to the level of the Empire. And hopefully those words reached Ezra. Yeah, I kinda lost that hope when Hera was debriefing them on the next mission and Ezra started second-guessing the mission. Ezra and Sabine managed to infiltrate the relay, only to have a light cruiser on their tails immediately, and Ezra even engages in a bit of improv trying to impersonate an Imperial officer. The mission goes from tapping into the relay to destroying it. Kanan displays a great deal of strength by guiding Hera through fog and dispatching of their TIE Defender pursuers, while a phantom ship comes to rescue Ezra and Sabine, revealing itself eventually to be Saw. Saw's bombs destroy the relay as well as taking with it the light cruiser. However, a Star Destroyer enters the fray, causing Saw and the Ghost to make an emergency jump. On the way, Saw fills them in on their next mission, which is to infiltrate Feo Station to gather intel on what appears to be the Empire's next trump card. With this being the final season leading into Rogue One and Saw's involvement, I can almost be sure this is building to the Death Star. If I hadn't witnessed how delusional and Alzheimer-y Saw had become in Rogue One, I would almost admit that this guy would have had a great future leading the rebels to some large victories in the battles ahead. The cargo ship is headed to empty space out in the Taunus sector, which is most likely the best place to hide a big-ass globe weapon if you ask me. They find out that the Empire is holding prisoners in a cargo hold, and one of the prisoners reveals that the Stormtroopers mentioned the Jedha system. It's all coming together, folks. It's all coming together. Now, can we get some Chirrut and Rebels, please? Chirrut and Baz, perhaps? No? Okay. Chopper gets the prisoners to safety in the escape pods, and Ezra is drawn to a certain room. What's inside? Yes, more Rogue One references. Death Troopers. Yes, give me more. Oh, you're gonna give me more. Thank you. What Ezra was drawn to was a large kyber crystal. We have our confirmation, people. This is in fact the very energy source of the Death Star. We have come to this point in the story, and it is oh so satisfying. Of course, if we're at that point in the story, we're also owed a crazy Saw Gerrera, as he betrays Ezra and Sabine and knocks them out. Most likely because he wants to see what the Empire is building that will eventually weaponize the kyber crystal. Saw shows more of his cray-cray tactics as he's more than willing to accept collateral damage in his war against the Empire. Surprisingly, Ezra stands up for the prisoners and remains behind while Saw makes a quick escape. Ezra and Sabine now have to rescue the prisoners and get off a ship that is quickly becoming a ticking time bomb with an unstable kyber crystal on board. Chopper, with the help of the prisoners, secures their escape plan, displaying some impeccable astromech foo. Ezra becomes a badass for a split second and dispatches of the reinforcing Death Trooper as they make their quick getaway aboard the Imperial shuttle. The Kyber crystal reaches critical mass and takes out both the cargo and the Star Destroyer. As a result of their efforts, the Rebel Alliance has gained some much needed energy technicians. These are the kinds of episodes that I get excited for. This was incredible. We got some amazing references to the larger Star Wars universe. Saw was in it, Mon Mothma was in it, we were in Yavin 4. They showed one of the Kyber crystals that ends up being the power source of the Death Star. All of these story elements that build upon each other to reach a connection, an overarching connection to the larger universe. This season is only going to get better. We're definitely going to see and get some much needed closure on Ahsoka Tano, and I can't wait for that to happen, but this episode was pretty incredible. I felt like if I continued to watch more and more of this type of episode, that I was eventually going to reach episode 4, A New Hope, or even Rogue One, which is why I want Chirrut and Baz and all of those good people from Rogue One to kind of make an appearance like Saw Gerrera. Anyways, that'll do it for my review and recap of In the Name of the Rebellion. Guys, I can't wait for the next episode. We're getting closer and closer to Rogue One and closer to the original trilogy, and I can't wait to see how they connect it all together, and I can't wait to see where all of these characters end up. In any case, I'll talk to you guys next week, so until then, we are one with the Force, and the Force is with us.